Hey there, guys, and welcome back to the Travis and Damian podcast, episode 85. We're available on anchor.fm/Travis Damian podcast, along with Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. First, we're going to talk about Sonic Origins controversy and the Sonic 2 movie. Then we'll get into our recent activities in gaming and anime. After that, we're going to dive into the gaming news, including Splatoon 3, Ninja Turtles, Stranger Things 4. There's a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And then lastly, we're going to talk about the Activision Blizzard, whatever the fuck's going on over there. So first, let's talk about the Sonic Origin stuff, because it seems to have upset a lot of Sonic fans and a lot of people within the gaming community, because every single time there's a fucking chart of things to show about
DLC charts and stuff. Yeah.
Every single time there's a chart of that, it does get a little sus. But the initial trailer we got was pretty dope, I will say. It does look very, very cool. The fact that they are really taking their time and effort, like remastering these games, despite them being ported like 20 times over on pretty much every single console known to man. They are actually really doing justice to this collection once again, of Sonic 1, CD, 2, and 3, and Knuckles. And I believe those are going to be combined. And those are going to be fully remastered. It's going to come out on June 23rd.
Yeah.
2022, which I believe is Sonic's 31st birthday or something like that, close to it anyway. So that's pretty cool. I mean, if you're a Sonic fan, you could tell that Tyson Hesse is back once again doing the fucking animations, and that's always dope. Tyson Hesse has been a really key part in terms of making Sonic good again, in my opinion.
Right, yeah.
You know,
no, I agree.
Everything that he's done with from the animations, the artwork, the comic book covers, even his work within the Sonic 2 movie. You know, he was pretty much brought on after the whole controversial first design of the character. They're like, hey, can you like help us? So he obviously came in and was like, yeah, I mean, just make him look more like Sonic. So, and yeah, once again, these animation cutscenes look really, really good. And honestly, you know, as a big Sonic fan as I am, I've actually never beaten all of these games. I've beaten Sonic CD. I've beaten Sonic CD, but I haven't finished Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles. So roast me in the comments if you want. But what do you think of this trailer?
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. Like, again, like that, those animations are always really good. Like, always like how he draws classic Sonic and like that I guess Sonic CD vibe, like in the beginning of Sonic CD. Like, I always really like that like art style for classic Sonic. And yeah, it looks like they're just putting a lot of effort into this, unlike, you know, Nintendo with the Mario All-Stars collections and stuff. It really seems like they're putting a lot of effort into these ports and stuff. Well, I guess remasters instead of ports. Because Sonic 1, 2, and CD were the mobile ports, I believe, but like they made them, like people wanted them in consoles forever, because they added like a whole bunch of new quality of life stuff. You know, the games just look better and run better. And yeah, people were just wondering where it was like for console players, and now we're getting it. Plus, you know, 3 and Knuckles, which are like separate. No, I'm sorry, they're together in this one. And yeah, it just looks like there's a bunch of cool features and stuff. I love the animations and stuff. A lot of, yeah, like I said, a lot of new features. Like they have like a story mode where you could play all the games in like chronological order. So you can play like through Sonic 1, then CD, then 2, then 3 and Knuckles with like cutscenes in between them. Like I think that's really cool. And I've also like I've beaten like Sonic 2 and 3. One, I think I beat one. I think I beat all of them except CD, but I never got like all the Chaos Emeralds or anything because I hate special stages like a lot. So yeah, but I'm really looking forward to getting this, because I think this is a good, like, probably the best collection we've gotten for Sonic games since like Mega Collection or whatever. So.
Yeah, I mean, the price of it is a bit steep in my opinion. I think $40 is a little crazy for games that are this old. But if they're doing what they're doing and they're actually improving the games significantly, I mean, the fact that, you know, they made these games 16:9 and HD fully remastered and all of the bells and whistles, like that's super cool. And, you know, obviously they deserve to get paid for their work. I think $30 would have been a little more reasonable, but
it probably could have been a bit cheaper. I mean, we're talking about a DLC soon, but I don't feel as bad about it as I did when I bought the Mario All-Star. Wasn't that 60? The 3D Mario All-Stars?
I believe so.
Or 50? I can't remember.
Yeah, but I believe it was literally just $60 and they just threw them on the Switch.
Yeah. Like I do feel like a lot of remasters now are like $40 regardless now. Even like I think the TMNT collection is also like pretty expensive as well. I think there's more games in there, but
I think that is $40 though.
Yeah. So like same with like this one, it's also like $40, but I think it has less games. But again, I think they're adding enough where I really don't mind. Like they're adding like missions and some other stuff and like just a bunch of different modes and stuff. So I personally don't really mind it that much, but I could agree that it does seem a little pricey. Like I think $40 is a lot.
Yeah, and we'll get into I guess the next part of the thing, which is something that I didn't know a lot of people were upset about until I actually looked into it, is the fact that there's like different like editions for the game and there's like different DLC packs. So like the base game, you don't get everything, and if you pre-order, you get mirror mode, which is unlockable in game. They actually had to change that on the website because people were very confused. They're like, wait, what the fuck? But that is unlockable in game. And then you also get a letterbox background with the pre-order, and then within the digital deluxe edition, which is I believe $45 or something like that. So it's an extra $5, but like, why do I need to pay this extra $5 for character animations in the menu, camera control over the main menu islands, character animations during music islands, and then there's also more soundtracks for it. So I think especially the soundtrack part, that's a huge thing for Sonic fans. The music, like people love the Sonic music, including myself. Maybe not as much as the biggest Sonic fan out there, but the music bangs. Come on, like what can I say? So I think paying an extra $5, like in the grand scheme of things, it might not seem like a lot, but it should have just been bundled with the game to begin with. Because I feel like if it was, then I would have been like, okay, like maybe this $40 price point might be somewhat reasonable. But I don't know. I feel like that this is like a Sega decision kind of thing. Obviously, like the developers, they just made the game. They just, made Sonic 1 through 3 and Knuckles look pretty. And now Sega's like, we should do like this digital deluxe edition. Because I think they did it again with like Sonic Colors Ultimate with like pre-order bonuses and like all of this other stuff, which like I didn't participate in. I don't think I did. But yeah, it seems a bit weird that they're sort of like locking stuff behind it. And like the chart, when you look at it, it does look confusing. Like it does look very confusing. There's literally only 2 editions for the game. And then the extra like digital deluxe edition stuff like will be sold separately kind of thing.
Yeah. So like if you pre-order the digital deluxe version, you get everything. So that's basically what it is. I mean, Sega honestly has been pretty bad with like the day one stuff because I play a lot of Atlas games, which, they make Persona and SMT and stuff. And, I mean, that's also Atlas' fault. They have a lot of day one DLC always. We saw it with Sonic Colors Ultimate, and I was seeing it with this. It seems like they really want to, like, get that little bit of extra money. And at that point, it just seems kind of petty, right? Because, $5. Like, who cares? Like, I mean, it's like, why? Like, at that point, you might as well just make the game $45 if you're going to lock behind, like, this, like, stuff that seems like it should be in the game anyway. So yeah, that's kind of weird. It does feel like a Sega decision. I don't really see like, because I know like a lot of the people that made Mania are doing this, right? Or like Christian Whitehead like did the mobile ports, I think. So this definitely doesn't seem like something they would do. It definitely seems like a Sega decision. And I don't know. I feel like companies like they should know like gamers they hate day one DLC, right? I feel like that's just like it's a pretty normal thing at this point to just hate day one DLC because that could have just been in the game. And it's always going to hurt you more than probably help. I mean, it probably helps them more, but still, the bad press is probably not worth it, especially for like a game like this. Like, it's supposed to just be a nice little anniversary game. You can play all the classic Sonic games on modern consoles with new stuff. Like, it shouldn't have this much controversy. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, if they just released it, just like $40 and with all this stuff, like, yeah, it would have been fine. And then they released the whole confusing pricing chart. Like, you're really not making it any better. So.
Yeah, the game is developed by Headcanyon, and they did do Sonic Mania, and they also handled the re-release of Sonic 1 and 2 for 2013, so you are right on that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I just don't see the reason to be nickel and diming people, especially because now the gaming community and people on Twitter are, like, aware of this situation. They're like, should I really be buying this game now? Like, obviously, like, I'm gonna still fucking buy it. Like I'm not.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it too.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna boycott this game. I'm not playing it. Like I'm gonna still buy the game. But I do think it is a little silly that they're sort of locking certain elements of the game that feel like should be part of it, just behind some random stuff. Like, obviously, when you look back in like 2012/2013, when like Capcom was doing this shit with like Street Fighter or whatever game it was, you know, people were fucking upset, and rightfully so, because they were just locking these characters behind DLC walls because they were like, well, we could probably charge people, and you know, the characters are obviously the main part of the game and shit like that. But things like this that is obviously like super insignificant seems a bit silly as well. Like, even then, I feel like DLC has been a good and bad thing in the sort of like gaming space, just because like companies are like, oh, you know, like we'll just make a DLC later, or like, you know, they'll like lock it behind or whatever like their scheme is. But like DLC should always be like a thing that's like thought of after. Exactly. And you know, this thing, it's so fucking simple. It's like character animations and music, as far as I could tell, right? So it doesn't seem that reasonable. Yeah,
it's just like it should have just been the game. Like, I agree with you. I mean, I like DLC for the most part if it's done right. Like, some of my favorite pieces of content have been like DLC. Like, I mean, just like, I guess we're gonna talk about Splatoon later. Like, I loved Octo Expansion. I thought Octo Expansion was sick. Same thing with the Xenoblade 2 DLC. Like, that was also awesome. So like, when it's done like right, it could be really. I seen all the Fallout New Vegas stuff, like all those DLCs. Like that 360 PS3 era had probably the best sort of DLCs, and Nintendo actually does pretty good DLCs like currently. So, you know, there's ways to good DLC, and then there's like bad ways like this where it's just like, oh, it could have just been the game to begin with because it's basic features. So yeah.
But going back to like the actual game, because I'm on like the Sonic wiki, apparently, so like the anniversary mode, obviously 16:9 fully remastered, but also there's gonna be no lives, so like you could just keep going over and over again. So that's probably gonna be good for me because I'm fucking bad at these games.
Me too. Honestly, I'm really bad at the classic Sonic. I really hope. I haven't read this anywhere, so it's probably not gonna be in the game. But I really hope. Again, I told you how much I hate special stages. I really hope that this is, if you fail special stage, it just like, oh, retry the special stage instead of like getting warped out and then having to do the thing again. Like, that's what always made me hate, like, especially like Sonic 2, like half pipe. I hate that shit. Same thing like Sonic Heroes. Like Sonic Heroes was like awful with that because it was like the half pipe but like worse.
Oh yeah, it was fucking slippery.
Yeah, it felt like garbage too. So like I don't think it's gonna be in this, but it would have been cool if it was like a retry special stage option. Like I think that would be pretty sick. But yeah, the no lives is great. Like I think, like, you know, especially like Kirby now coming out too, and like Crash 4, all these platformers just getting rid of lives. Like, I think that's fine. Like, I think lives are pretty like just like antiquated at this point. Like we don't really need them in platformers. Like, and you know, platformers can still be hard. Like I think like Super Meat Boy and Celeste, like they're both hard games with no lives, and like you know, like it's fine. You don't need lives anymore. So yeah, but it's nice to give them an option. Like you could play classic, or you could play the anniversary mode with no lives and stuff. So I think that's a good compromise, like what Crash 4 did. So
yeah, and apparently for the special stages, the coins at the bottom, which, you know, is part of like the pre-order bonus, which I thought was like a typo. I was like, what the fuck they saying coins for?
Yeah, coins, yeah.
But the coins are actually used to retry special stages as many times as you need.
Shit.
So
hey.
Yeah, that's what the coins are for. So that is...
Oh, that's sick. Okay.
That's pretty cool. Hopefully this Sonic Wiki is correct and I'm not just spewing bullshit right now, but...
That's actually sick, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that they're not going to reverse this decision with the whole digital deluxe edition, despite the amount of sort of like backlash that it's seen on Twitter. Even like Devolver Digital did like a funny little chart of their own, like checking every single box and shit like that. But, you know, it is what it is. Am I going to buy the digital deluxe edition? I'm not sure. I might just get the base game because like they're like tiny animations and music, obviously, that I could probably listen on YouTube if I really want to. But who knows, maybe I'll shell out the extra $5 on Steam and buy it there. But I hope this gets a physical edition in some way, shape, or form, because I feel like that this collection in and of itself, just like with the artwork and everything like that, should be preserved, you know.
I agree. Like, didn't Sonic Mania also, it came out digital only, then it got physical later, right? So I hope they do the same.
With Mania
the
Plus.
Sonic statue, right?
Yeah. I mean, that came with like a digital code, but when they did Mania Plus, that's when they did the physical edition, which is when I repurchased the game, I think, twice. But
okay, I see.
All right, so we'll move on from there. Let's talk about Roblox, because this shit is mad random.
This is really random, yeah.
So yeah, Sonic is officially in Roblox. If you guys don't know what Roblox is, it's pretty much just a kids game with a bunch of, I guess, like bootleg unofficial licensed games.
I mean, I just call it like kids Gmod, basically. Like,
yeah, pretty much. I mean, that is like a pretty good equivalent to it. But yeah, this is like a officially licensed Sonic game on Roblox, and
Yeah.
it's pretty much you just run around Green Hill Zone and collect stuff. I think I'm not exactly sure.
So what it is, it's kind of like it's hard to describe, like an AFK sort of game, but you can like play it. So basically, you keep running around and you collect rings and stuff, and you keep doing that and you make Sonic faster. It's kind of like Cookie Clicker. Except you're Sonic. So you just keep getting coins, you go faster and faster, you like fill up bars, fills that dopamine up, and then there you go. And I think Chow are in this game, which is pretty sick. I want them back in like other games, but yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, this is the first official big like video game mascot officially in Roblox, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of wanted to try it before I went on the podcast today, but just didn't have the time. Probably after the semester, I'll try this out and see how it is. They'll probably update it a couple of times by the time I play it, but yeah, I mean, Roblox is cool, honestly. I think that the stuff that some of the developers on Roblox are able to do is like insane. I remember my brother, he sent me like a clip of like, it was like a Call of Duty clone on Roblox. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is kind of crazy. And, now we have a developer that officially worked with Sega and made this Sonic Speed cookie clicker kind of thing, as far as Damian has said, so.
It's, yeah, I mean, like, I know Roblox kind of has some like weird stuff in it and stuff, because I think there's some videos about how like some creators don't get paid what they should for like making their games on here. But yeah, people have done some really creative things with this, like I guess game engine at this point. I've always liked games like this, things like Little Big Planet and like Dreams and stuff. Like that's always been like super cool to me. And Roblox is kind of just that. So that it's pretty cool, and especially like this one just looks like a Sonic game. Like you're not playing as like a Roblox kid. I think you can, but like like Sonic isn't like a Roblox boy. Like he's actually Sonic, which is pretty sick. And yeah, I'll probably give it a shot. I've never ever played Roblox in my life, so this might be a thing that maybe like okay, I'll give it a try. Maybe I'll talk about it next time. But
yeah, I've played it for reasons undisclosed right now, but it is kind of cool, honestly, that this is here, and obviously they did it to sort of coincide with the Sonic 2 movie to advertise it, because they know that kids play Roblox, and if they like Sonic, they'll play this, and maybe they'll want to go see the Sonic movie then, etc., etc. But yeah, super duper dope. Next, we're gonna talk about the Sonic 2 movie. We're gonna talk about full spoilers, because Damian actually went to go see it, so
I did.
If you guys don't want to be spoiled by the awesome movie that is Sonic 2, just skip to our recent activities. But Damian, what did you think of the movie?
I actually liked it a lot. So I don't think that's a big surprise, because a lot of people have been saying they like it a lot. But I'm glad they went more for the Sonic stuff and less with like the human stuff. Because the first movie, I liked it. Like I think the main thing that was the issue was the Sonic redesign. Oh, when Sonic looked like garbage and then it didn't look good. But besides that, it was a pretty standard like sort of like buddy cop type deal. Like, oh, here's the cartoon character in the real world. Like, it didn't really feel too much like Sonic. Most of the time, like, you have Sonic versus like Eggman and stuff, but it wasn't like a whole lot of elements yet. They were making new lore with Long Claw and stuff, which is important now. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a good movie and some nice references or whatever, but it was okay. The second movie is definitely more what I wanted. Now we got Tails here. We got Knuckles. They have their own lore, but still pretty similar to what we used to, which is good. Like, it's not like, I feel like it's not like bastardizing what we already know. Like, having the Master Emerald to hold all the other Chaos Emeralds, I think that's a pretty smart way to like do things and stuff.
Yeah,
but,
make it less confusing.
Yeah, make it less confusing for everyone and stuff. Obviously there's still some weird stuff, like, and a lot, like, some of the human stuff is still like whatever. But we'll talk about that when after this first impressions I'm giving. But yeah, I thought it was really good. I thought all the characters looked great. The action scenes were good. It was basically everything I wanted as like a Sonic movie. Like, I don't know what else you could have done. So yeah, they did a good job. I really like Knuckles too. Idris Elba did a really good job with Knuckles. So and Tails is like voice actress was just Tails, so that was pretty sick too. So I like that. But yeah, I thought it was really good.
I think that they probably couldn't find another voice actor to emulate Tails as well as she did. So yeah. Props to her for getting a role on the big screen. That is super duper dope. Yeah. But honestly, like, I think the human sequences, I know that most people are like, yeah, whatever, I think that they were better this time around just because, like, it's like comedy relief, which is good because, like, I feel like most of the time with the human characters, especially in a movie like this that's called Sonic the Hedgehog, you want to focus on Sonic, obviously.
Yeah.
So when you have these human characters in there, because that's just how Sonic came to be within this universe, and just have their story be, more funny, more, sort of goofy and shit like that. I thought that was cool. Honestly, the what's his name? The husband guy, and then he ended up being a fucking like gun agent or whatever.
Yeah, gun agent. Yeah.
Like I probably should have seen that coming, but I did not. I was like, what the fuck?
I didn't see it. I didn't know they were gonna say gun. I'm like, holy shit, it's gun. I thought it was gonna put like FBI agents, but no, it was like gun. I'm like, yo, that's sick.
Look,
like, I
man,
did not expect that.
They're fucking in the boardrooms. They're planning shit out, So, yeah, like that was super duper dope. I think when I saw it the second time, when they said gun, some people like in my theater were like, oh shit, because like if you know Sonic, gun implicates possibly Shadow, and that we obviously got that within the after credit scene, which we'll talk about later in sort of like our predictions of what's to come next. But this movie was just super duper fun. I loved the way that they changed Knuckles' backstory, sort of have it more connect with Sonic and make that sort of rivalry connect more and mean more, because like I think obviously like back then on the Genesis games it was more like, Knuckles got tricked by Eggman, which still plays a role within this movie, but having him have this sort of like grudge against Sonic because of Long Claw and sort of like that lore and that battle that they had with their people like years and years ago, makes sense. And I really like the way that they did that. And obviously Idris Elba fucking kills it as Knuckles. I mean, literally like after like they're all like buddy and like Knuckles is like trying to like find out what the fuck's going on with like fun and like baseball, like that
was
shit.
Awesome, yeah.
That was so much fun. And Tails' backstory as well, it's very slightly different, with Tails really looking up to Sonic and not just being like, oh, like he's super duper fast, but like he's kind of weird too, he's looking up to him as like, oh, like I'm also weird, but you're super cool, so like I can sort of be that figure as well, and sort of embrace my own weirdness, which I think is a very good message to send to kids. So yeah, and that scene with them afterwards in that fucking bar fight, which was great, by the way. I honestly didn't expect it. Some people could be like, oh, it's just like the bar scene with, Donut Lord and fucking Sonic from the first movie. But, it is what it is. They're going to repeat some stuff to sort of have it, go along with the movie or whatever. But, that sort of scene with them two sort of connecting with each other and sort of making that friendship really a friendship was awesome, and I fucking loved it.
Yeah, it was very cute. Like, I thought the Sonic Tails stuff was really well done, and I like how they they sort of changed their backstories just all like a little bit, because in Sonic, I mean Tails in Adventure 1 was like, oh, Sonic's going fast, I'm gonna go fast too, and then Sonic was just like, yo, this kid could keep up with me, I guess we're cool. But in this one they made it so like Sonic's actions in the first movie was like Tails was like, oh shit, that's sick. I mean, it's kind of weird, it's kind of stalking him, but I guess that's just Tails anyway. But it was still like I think it made a little more sense than just like they're in the forest randomly. And Knuckles, I really like what he did with his backstory too, because I feel like they never touched on that. Like in the other games, he's kind of just like a dude in like Angel Island with the Master Emerald, and that's about it. This one they actually connected more with like the whole Echidna tribe stuff, because in Adventure 1 we only get that with like Tikal and stuff, so we didn't really Knuckles didn't really have any part of that. Like they never even brought it up in that game, which was weird. That's why it surprised me more that we're getting like a Shadow thing, which we'll talk about later, and not like a Chaos thing. But I guess that's what they're gonna go for. But yeah, I really like how they did their backstories in this, and I thought the Long Claw stuff was weird in the first movie, but I think they did a good job in this movie, sort of like wrapping it up. Yeah, because that like the Owl Clan versus the Echidna tribe and stuff. Like I thought that was like pretty neat and stuff. So, and again, Knuckles and Sonic have like a pretty similar like backstory, so they were able to like connect in the end. So I thought that was like pretty good as well. Yeah,
I mean, Jim Carrey back as Eggman once again.
Oh, he's amazing. He's really good, dude.
He's fucking great. When he was flossing, I was like, not again.
You did always have to do it.
I mean, like, look, now Sonic 3, like, someone's gonna floss. If it's Shadow, I'm done.
Let's
I'm
Shadow
done.
floss.
But, yeah, I mean, Jim Carrey is like obviously like the standout performance once again, just because he really takes on this role of Eggman. Like I don't think anyone else would be able to do the goofy silliness that Eggman is able to do within this movie. Yeah. But yeah, like What were your thoughts?
I mean, I love Jim Carrey as Eggman in the first movie, and I love him in this movie even more. Actually, I love his assistant. Like,
oh
in,
my
like,
god, yes, Mr. Stone or
like,
whatever.
He's like super gay for him and stuff, and he's just like hilarious. I don't know why. I just like they're all like such cartoon characters, and I think that sort of acting fits like this type of movie really well. And you know, like you said with the human characters, I do agree. Like, actually. Like, you know, I wish it was more of Sonic instead of those scenes, but I don't mind them too much in this movie because I feel like all the actors are just playing super cartoon, like they're just cartoons, you know what I mean? Like even the gun commander, it just feels like a cartoon character, you know? So I really appreciate that they went for that direction and not try to make it too serious with it. Or make it like more like drama or whatever. I think that came out really well. And yeah, like Jim Carrey as Eggman is great. Like I think all his like delivery, like he's just so weird. Like just like I think it just fits it. Like I know Eggman's supposed to be a little more like, you know, not as crazy as this, but I think this is a good spin on him. So I don't mind.
Yeah, and I mean like because we don't know if Jim Carrey's going to return for Sonic 3, them leaving that to sort of I guess what's it called, interpretation at the end was a nice way to do it because they're like, hey, you know, like if they want to use him for the last movie, they can, or the next movie, I should say, because there's probably going to be more Sonic movies after the third one, because like this shit making money, and like because they're doing it right is what I can say. It's not just because it's Sonic, like they are actually taking the source material and respectfully sort of twisting it and changing it and molding it for a new generation of Sonic fans. And like there's gonna be kids out there that only know Sonic because of these movies, and then they play the games and you know they learn more about the lore and shit like that. Like that's how I got into Sonic, was like with Sonic Heroes, and then I went back and played the other games, etc., etc. But yeah, I mean, Super Sonic.
Yeah, dude, fucking Super cool. Sonic. Holy shit! I did not expect Super Sonic like at all.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was crazy. Like, so in the first movie when Sonic went like all blue and stuff, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be like the Super Sonic thing. Like, he's not gonna like turn super ever in like this film trilogy. And you know the Master Emerald is like, oh, it like already has all the Chaos Emeralds. So I'm like, okay, so I don't think they're gonna do super again. But when the Master Emerald started cracking and the emeralds just started spinning around, like, holy shit, they got these Super Sonic, and he looked great. Like his hair was standing up, he had the red eyes, and like damn, they really went the whole thing. So yeah, that was really good.
When I saw it the first time, I think because it was the early access viewing, the kids and like the parents weren't like, you know, super hype. But like the second time, bro, the theater was insane. They were like, let's fucking go, you know, because like that's like the sort of like end game moment for Sonic 2. It's like he turned Super Sonic, and like I didn't expect that shit like when I first watched it, because I was like, I didn't think that they were gonna do Super Sonic either, because like there's already so much in this movie, but like them being able to, you know, get the Master Emerald to sort of tie back into the Chaos Emeralds in a different way, that makes sense, you know. And I really, really enjoyed just that sequence because, you know, Knuckles was like, he's not your Sonic anymore. And then he just fucking summons a chili dog. And I'm like, all right, whatever.
Like, I don't know how you would feel if you're not a Sonic fan. Be like, what's going on?
I mean, like, I saw this with my girlfriend the first time, and she had no idea what Sonic was. And, like, she knows nothing about the lore. So, like, when she was watching it, like, you know, she was enjoying herself, and then afterwards I was like, so what'd you think? She was like, I had fun. I was like, all right, that's good, because like she knows fucking nothing, but like it's still an enjoyable and fun ride, because I feel like that the movie obviously like doesn't take itself too seriously. It's still a goofy kids movie with Sonic and human characters. So, but you know, go on.
I was just gonna say that's why I'm kind of concerned about the whole Shadow thing, because Shadow, you know, the story takes itself a little more seriously with Shadow. You know, a little girl gets shot and like an old man gets gunned down. So like I'm like, I have no idea how they're gonna do Shadow. Like they're probably gonna retcon the hell out of his backstory. Because like I feel like the movies are best when they're like sort of goofy fun and stuff. And you know, I think that's what makes a good video game movie or a video game any adaptation or whatever. Like same thing with Arcane, where I feel like it's understandable by people that don't play the medium at all, but it still like respects everything. Like my brother played like no League of Legends, right, and he loved Arcane. But obviously, as someone that does know a bit about League of Legends, still enjoyed that line. I was able to point out some references or whatever. And I feel it's the same thing with this movie. Like you just be like, oh, it's just like you know, cartoon characters doing cool stuff. But if you're like a Sonic fan, you'd be like, oh, that's Gun, that's Shadow, that's Super Sonic.
Oh my god,
you know?
it's the Mean Bean. It's named after the fucking you know, puzzle game on the Genesis. I was like,
oh yeah, the Mean Bean, like the Mean Bean thing. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, holy shit. That's pretty cool.
I
totally yeah.
The fucking references like that when I was watching it was just like, oh my god, like I'm flexing my Sonic knowledge and like no one knows. It's like that meme with the fucking guy at the party and he's just standing there.
They don't know this is based off Dr. Robotnik's mean Bean Machine.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, as a huge Sonic fan myself, I just had so much fun just watching this movie and like all of the references and shit like that. And the only one thing that I really was like sort of distracted me from the movie was when like they were in, I guess, Iceland or whatever the fuck, in the snow part, and like he gets the sort of compass thing, and like Eggman, he's obviously in like a blue screen or whatever, and like it looked really jarring.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that did look really weird. Yeah.
I was like, ooh, that's not as well as it could have been, but it's fine. Kids probably aren't gonna care that much.
I think this movie was like made during like COVID, right? Like,
of course. So like, I'm not gonna complain too much.
Yeah, that's why they probably relied a lot more on Sonic, which is fine because it's more just CG and stuff. And I thought the CG looked great. Like I think all the designs look great, but I think they found a really good style to bring Sonic, I guess, into like the real world. I guess. I think we already talked about this during the like Sonic one, but Knuckles looks great, Tails looks great, Shadow looks good too. Like we see him for like 2 seconds, but I think Shadow looks good as well. So.
Yeah, definitely the special effects were 100% focused on everything with the Sonic characters, just because it's like they're going to be the main stars of the show and they're going to be the ones that the kids are going to have their eyes on the whole time, no matter what. So
yeah, I thought they were going to do like a Sonic Heroes reference too. I'm like, like all 3 of them are there. I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Look at that.
They could have. I don't know. I mean, most people, when they did that sort of like a 3 shot of them, like in that town or whatever.
Yeah.
In Green Hills, people were like, Sonic Hero vibes. And I was like, yeah, definitely. And, people are nostalgic for that game 100%. So, including myself. So.
I'm going to tell my kids this is the Avengers.
But yeah, Shadow. I mean, like, I think that 100% got like the most reaction from both theaters that I went to. Both times I saw it. I mean, how was your theater reason to that?
We went in like the morning just because the theater we go to gets really busy during like the evening. I won't say just in case. Yeah, it does get really busy.
Don't dox yourself.
But it gets really busy. So yeah, we usually go to see movies during the 12 or whatever. Yeah. So it wasn't too many people, but I did hear some like, well, like when Shadow showed up, I actually got like spoiled that he was gonna be in the movie like a day before.
That sucks.
So I'm like, oh, okay, I guess he's in the movie. So when I saw it, but it was still cool to see him like get brought up and like he's just there. Again, this is a direction I thought they were gonna slowly go into the adventure stuff because adventure is like a whole thing.
Yeah.
Like I thought they were gonna do like either Metal Sonic or something else. Like they go like Sonic CD and then maybe Sonic 3 is like a big like end game sort of thing until they go into the 3D stuff. But nah, they're straight up just going with Shadows. So that's a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just them looking at the Sonic stories and being like, all right, so like which elements are like the most interesting and the most like impactful for like the Sonic fans and the Sonic community. And like obviously like Adventure is like a pretty big game with like chaos and it introduced a lot of characters to like the mainstream Sonic people, but people want to see Shadow. So
yeah, I mean Shadow's like a fan favorite, and dude, if they fight Final Hazard in like space and they don't play Live and Learn, I'm gonna like rate it a 0. So
I mean, like they might choose a different villain just because
I don't think it's gonna be like BioLizard or anything or whatever.
I mean, like look, if Shadow's gonna be there and they're both gonna turn super at the end, like that shit is all that I think.
Shadow gonna die? Like I don't know how serious they're gonna go because again, the adventure games take themselves a lot more seriously than the old games. So. I'm just wondering how they're gonna go about it. That's all I'm saying. I think Shadow's gonna get a lot of retconning because I don't think they want to show a little kid getting shot, which is what triggers Shadow to do stuff like Maria getting shot, and Dr. Robotnik's grandfather. I don't think they're gonna show him getting shot either because that also happened because he's like Shadow was illegal, but Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. It might just be some secret. I mean, he has Ultimate Life Phone, whatever. So yeah, I guess we're gonna see. Dude, so many kids are gonna be reintroduced. I was a Shadow boy. I loved Shadow as a kid. So like, it's gonna be like a whole new thing. It's gonna be weird.
Yeah, I mean, like when we went to go see it the second time, Aldair and Cameron were there, and they were getting snacks, and some kid was walking out, and he like blurred Supersonic, and Aldair looked at Cameron, and it was like, bruh. That shit was so funny because I'm like, no, they got spoiled, but it's all good.
Sucks.
At least they didn't know about Shadow, because like afterwards I was like, did y'all like know? And they were like, nah. But
yeah, for me, I didn't know Supersonic was gonna be in this, and that was like a really I was like, holy shit. So yeah.
But yeah, I think that them introducing Shadow and them probably gonna retcon his backstory just a little bit. I'm sure Maria's gonna be a part of it somehow. Yeah. Who knows? Because like the first Sonic movie, fucking Sonic's mom equivalent dies straight up. So
that's true.
They are able to do darker things, but obviously just like not explicitly show it or explicitly I guess make it still within the PG realm kind of thing. Because like obviously like I think Spider-Verse was PG. But straight up, like, Uncle Aaron gets shot.
I guess you're right. Yeah, I mean, they could show it. I guess because it's going to be like a real little girl getting shot by like a soldier. So
who are they going to cast? Who knows?
But that person's going to last like 2 seconds. Just like the headshot cutscene, just like just dead. So,
but yeah, I mean, I'm definitely excited for Sonic 3, obviously, and the success of this movie has been immense and fucking great, and I cannot believe that we are getting actually good Sonic movies to begin with. I think that Sonic fans are used to having the games in their medium just be straight up trash or mediocre, but these movies have been really, really good, and I think that the complaints people have with them, they can have their complaints, but as a huge Sonic fan myself who is literally grown up with this character, I fucking love this movie. I cannot wait to get it on 4K and rewatch it again. So
yeah, I liked it a lot as well. I think it was a big step up from the first one. I felt like the first one just getting their feet wet, and now this one is like, okay, now we're gonna get into the real shit. So
yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, exactly. Doing that sort of like buddy cop thing, and then having Donut Lord, be like the sort of like father figure to Sonic, being like, hey, like, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, bro. Like, so I really did like this movie, especially the comedy. I think that most of the jokes landed. Obviously, like, they're for kids, so like some jokes I'm gonna like roll my eyes or like not laugh as much, but I think that the humor was done really, really, really well, especially with Idris Elba, because like Knuckles being a dumbass is like fucking great.
It was really good. I really like anything he was in. like him and Eggman are probably my favorite. So yeah, it was really good.
Them leaning definitely into the Sonic Boom Knuckles, where like he literally is fucking 2 IQ sort of thing, So
I think he's more like naive than anything. He just like doesn't know. He reminds me of like Starfire from like Teen Titans, where he just doesn't know anything. Yeah. So it is pretty. He is kind of a himbo though.
All right, so we're gonna end that there. So now let's get into our recent activities before we get into the slew of other shit we gotta talk about. So I'll let you go first, just because I got a stack of manga next to me. But
all right, so it's been busy. It's been like finals and tests and stuff, so I haven't really been doing too much. I actually this was like right after the last podcast. I actually beat Legends of Arceus. I did beat it, but I didn't do like the post game stuff. So I wanted to do that, before things got busier. So I caught Arceus and did like the final fights, and yeah, it was really, really good. The final fight is actually one of the hardest things in Pokemon. I mean, still not too bad because it's still a Pokemon game, but the final fight was like really good. Like the final champion fight, he basically has like 8 Pokemon, which if you didn't know, you only have 6, and 2 of them are legendaries in his team. So yeah, it was pretty rough. I heard some people get like straight up hard stuck on him. So I mean, I didn't but I actually had to use like max revives, which I haven't had to use in like years. So I thought it was a really fun fight. The actual Arceus fight is also really good. So if you didn't know, you don't just fight him like as a Pokemon battle, because that's easy. You have to like, you fight him like actual like Dark Souls boss or whatever. And his patterns aren't too crazy, but like I died a few times trying. I'm like, oh wait, how am I supposed to dodge this? And which was good. I died like 3 times to this guy before I caught Arceus, and I thought it was a really good final fight. All the legendaries and how I got them was cool. Just the game in general was just like really good. I think after the disappointment that was Brilliant Diamond, and same thing with Sword and Shield. I think this game was really like a nice breath of fresh air for me as a big Pokemon fan. And as someone who loves Gen 4, like I love Gen 4. Gen 3 is always going to be like my favorite, because, well, not my favorite, but like is the one I started in. But I love Gen 4 just as much. And I got so sad when Brilliant Diamond was kind of shit. So having this game kind of like capture that emotion I had when I played the DS games for the first time, it was really nice. I really enjoyed it. All the remixes were so good. The game still looks really ugly. Like I won't deny that. The game kind of runs a little bad. But I'll say if you're like a Pokemon fan, if you haven't played it like a Pokemon game in a while, I'll say give it a shot. But you have to really like the open world elements and just capturing Pokemon, because that's really what you're doing most of the time. Like there isn't like a whole lot of battling or whatever. It's mostly just capturing Pokemon. But I think that gameplay loop doesn't sound that great, but it is. Like I have like 70 hours in that game because of like how fun it was just to capture everything. I got all the Pokemon to level 10 Dex entries, so I got the shiny charm and stuff. I just thought it was a really, really good time, and I haven't had this much fun in a Pokemon game in a while. I think since like Sun and Moon was the last Pokemon game I really, really enjoyed, and that came out in like 2016. So yeah, it's been kind of a while. So yeah, I highly recommend it to anyone that's like a little jaded on Pokemon, or maybe if you haven't played a Pokemon game before. I definitely think it's worth a shot. So yeah. And really the last thing, because this is kind of what I've been doing, Final Fantasy 14 new patch came out, added a lot of stuff, added new raid, new story, which is pretty interesting because this is the first patch after Endwalker, and Endwalker sort of like ended everything, like ended like the whole main story that's been going on since like Realm Reborn and stuff. And I was wondering like where they're gonna go from here. The at the end of Endwalker, they tease like a lot of things that is still out there, and the world is huge. Like they could do a whole bunch of stuff, which is great. I think that's one of my favorite things, how I really get into like video games or anime or whatever. Like I really like strong world building, and like just like having like a world that feels like it could be like a living thing. Like that's why I love Attack on Titan. Like Fullmetal Alchemist was great. I love Xenoblade 2 for that reason. Just any of these worlds that feel really fleshed out with like a bunch of different cultures and stuff. I love that shit. So I think 14 does that really well. And now we're exploring different things. I won't say anything because it's all spoilers, but it's really cool. I think the direction they're going in is going to be really neat. There's a lot of story material left they could do. I think this game has like another like 20 fucking years in it, so and I'll keep playing it because I love it. New raid is great too. The last 24-man raids were the Nier raids, and I love Nier like a lot, but they were a little lackluster in terms of like story because it couldn't really do much because it was just a crossover. I think these have more world building, like I said, and I think they're just better overall. And the big thing is PvP. So they actually updated PvP in this game because Final Fantasy 14 had always had really shitty PvP. Like that was the one thing I've always said for sure about this game that was bad was the PvP. Like I think the game was just not meant for it. Like it just isn't fun in PvP, so I never really bothered with it, and a lot of people didn't either. But before Endwalker came out, they said they were going to do massive overhauls of the PvP systems and stuff. So every job, which is a class in this game, if you didn't know, so every class got like whole new actions. They play totally different now. Each class gets a unique like ultimate or limit break now, since in PvE like each like role has their like own limit break and stuff. And this one, each class has their own limit break, and they all act like basically ultimates in like a MOBA or whatever. All the class actions like make a lot more sense and stuff. And like the kill times are way lower because healers can't just stall games forever. They did a great job, and they also introduced a new game mode called Crystal Conflict, which is just payload. You just move your crystal from one end to the other, kind of like Tower Control, also in Splatoon if you ever played that. And yeah, just a super simple game mode. I think the problem with the PvP in 14 before was that the PvP game modes were way too convoluted. No, it was just nice and simple. If anyone looks at it, oh, that's just payload, and then I'm just gonna play that. And I think it came out really, really well. I've been playing a lot of it. I'm like Silver 2, so yeah, not to brag or anything. But yeah, like Silver 2, there's like a battle pass system, but you don't need to buy it or anything. It's just like an extra progression thing, which is good. You get like a cool armor set at the end. And yeah, I think they did a great job with the PvP, because this was a thing I always clowned on 14 for a while, was the PvP was like shit. And I think they did a great job. If the community sticks with it, I don't know. I'll probably be playing it if I have nothing else to do. So yeah, I think they did a great job with the PvP. And last thing there was just rework a bunch of Realm Reborn dungeons. And they were great. Like, these reworks were really, really good. A lot of the old dungeons felt like, again, they felt like relics of the past. There was a lot of like weird side rooms and weird puzzle things that like never happened past Realm Reborn. So basically streamlining a bunch of them. Now just basically like how normal dungeons are in other expansions. Bosses have new mechanics that make sense for like later encounters in the game. Yeah, it's just great. I think this patch was really good. It was a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, great patch. I love this game. There you go. So.
All right. So what have I been doing? I mean, I've been playing Valorant, but like, that's about it. I mean,
Yeah.
I actually spent money on skins because like, look, they were in my shop.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I buy in-game cosmetics. So.
Look, man, I haven't gave right my money in like years, so give me a break. Anyways, Valorant's still fun. I know that they recently announced that they're gonna nerf Jet in a very special way, where like, cause like she has a dash, and like obviously like that's just like, it's been abused since like the game came out as a sort of like free get out of jail free card. But like you obviously like have to be good to like use it, because like I play Jet and she's a hard character. Like I will 100% say that. But like the way that they're nerfing her is that before you dash, you have to press it first, and then you have like a 12-second window to use it. And then if you don't use it, it goes on cooldown. So you kind of have to plan ahead of when you're gonna use dash, and not just like a free just like hold this angle and then just like get out. So there's gonna be more, I guess, brain power to using it. I mean, like, we're obviously not going to know how much it's going to affect the agent until it actually releases. I think that should still be viable, but very much selected on specific maps, if I could say that. Before I get into the manga, which I'll try to keep brief, let me talk about my anime. Tokyo Revengers I finished. Season 1 ended really, really well, and I cannot wait to watch Season 2 whenever that comes out. I think that this is one of my new favorites, sort of like modern shonen. I honestly like it more than Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah. Maybe it's because Jujutsu Kaisen very much plays into like the normal like shonen stuff, but this one plays more into, gangs and like other elements that I'm not too familiar with. Not to say like JJK is bad by any means. I just like Tokyo Revengers a little bit more. But yeah, I cannot wait to read the manga when it starts getting printed in English, because it's been in English digitally for like a while, but now they're actually printing it. So I'll read it when that stuff comes out. I'm not in a rush to like get ahead of the anime or anything like that. Like I like it, but I'm not gonna, get myself, that further in, what I'm saying? And then Spy X Family and Shikamori's Not Just a Cutie started airing this season, and Spy Family or Spy X Family.
Yeah, I see it everywhere on Twitter.
It's fucking amazing. And honestly, it lives up to the fucking hype. I mean, I've shown it to my girlfriend and I've shown it to Tevin, who's not a big anime watcher, and they both fucking love it. Like, it is such a good shonen series that has a good enough of action and a good enough of comedy, and then obviously like the cuteness with Anya and all of that other stuff. Like, it's so fucking good. The first 2 episodes really set everything up, and now you're gonna see how stuff is gonna get rolling. And the English dub I also watched just because my brother wanted to watch it that way, and it's not that bad, honestly. Like, if you watch English dubs or like you don't mind it, you can watch it this way, but obviously you're just gonna be behind with all of the.
It's not too much behind, I don't think, right? Like,
yeah,
I think it's like a week behind, which is pretty crazy.
Exactly. Like it's pretty good in terms of like staying on top of the sub release, which is kind of insane now. But yeah, Spy Family, it is fucking good. It honestly lives up to the hype. As a manga reader, I have one of the fucking volumes right here. I fucking read volume 7. It is good, and it only gets better from here for the rest of this season and also the next one. But yeah, Spy Family is really, really good. Shikamori's Not Just a Cutie is just the next best girl anime. It's sort of it's not gonna replace My Dress Up Darling, because My Dress Up Darling is just so fucking good. But this one, it's pretty much about this girl Shikamori who is dating Izumi, and she is the Giga Chad in the relationship. So you see her like save him, you see her sort of excel in like school and sports and all of this other stuff, and Izumi's just standing there, because like he's like a very like unlucky guy, like he like falls over and shit like that, but like he's like, oh my gosh, she's so cute, she's my girlfriend, and I'm just like, this shit is so wholesome. And like their like friend group is also like very entertaining as well. I really do like seeing them interact with each other, and like as the season goes on, you'll learn more about them. But yeah, it's good if you like sort of like best girl animes or like My Dress Up Darling, Komi Can't Communicate, Teaser Master, Tagaki-san, etc. I think you'll like this show as well. And then I started watching Kagushigato. Hopefully I fucking...
I have no fucking idea.
Hopefully I pronounced that right. Pretty much, this anime is about this this guy. I'm not sure if he's a hentai artist or what, but like he draws like really lewd like manga, and like he doesn't want his daughter to find out. So like the entire show is just about him. Yeah. It's pretty much just about him trying to like keep this secret away from her, and like it's obviously like super low budget. Like the animation's not that great, but it is super funny, super entertaining, very wholesome at times as well. And every single episode goes back to the present time, I guess, if you want to call it, where like she's older and like she finds out like his secret and everything like that. But just watching them, like, you know, her as a child and him like trying to like hide this secret from her is just so cute. I fucking love it. But moving on, got some manga here. You know, Shikamori's not just a cutie. I got more of these, so I've been reading more. Spy Family, you know, still fucking good. Can't really talk about that. Horimiya still top tier sort of slice of life shit. Chainsaw Man, I finally read volume 6. I know there's only 11 volumes, so more than halfway.
Wait,
but volume,
there's only 11 volumes in general, or like
yeah. So like I believe this is part 1 of Chainsaw Man. I don't know what they're gonna call it, maybe Chainsaw Man 2 or whatever the fuck. But apparently at the end of Chainsaw Man, it's like there's gonna be more to it.
Okay,
so I obviously don't know what the fuck that means, but it's so good. Like it's a good shonen. Like that's all I could really say. There's fucking chainsaws, there's blood, there's demons, there's fucking crazy shit going on. Please put the mommy Takamine-san.
God damn, even you holding that.
Look. Low-key wholesome. Low-key.
Obviously,
like, obviously, there's like a lot of lewd and like sort of naughty things going on here. But if you guys don't know what this manga is, it's pretty much about this girl. When she takes off her panties, she rewinds time. So take that for what you will.
Life is strange. Life is weird.
Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, Volume 10. It's pretty much just more cute, wholesome things she does with Senpai. I don't really gotta explain much about that. Now, the big one I want to talk about, Sakamoto Days. So this is a brand new Shonen Jump manga. It's pretty much about this guy, Sakamoto. He's a I guess, like, hitman. Yeah. And for some reasons, you know, he just retires. You'll learn very quickly within the first 10 pages why he retires. It's very funny. It's very fucking funny. That's what I can say about this manga. It is super funny. Every single chapter I'm fucking laughing just because it's so ridiculous and so stupid. And like the other guy on the cover, Shin, he's worked with Sakamoto before he retired, and like he sort of comes back into his life trying to like get him back to work again and shit like that. But obviously, you know, they now work together and, you know, they go on stupid ass adventures and shit like that. But it's funny. It's fucking great. I love this manga. I'm honestly tempted to like subscribe to like the Shonen Jump app and just like read to like whatever chapters they have. I think is up to like 60 something or whatever. But yeah, Sakamoto Days, really fucking good. Honestly, when it gets a anime adaptation, it's gonna blow up 100%. Like I said the same shit when I read Spy Family, and like it's happening with Spy Family. So I'm sure that Sakamoto Days will one day get a fucking anime adaptation, but anyways,
I think it will.
We'll move on from there. We got Moon Knight, spoiler discussion, episodes 3 and 4. If you guys don't want to get spoiled for the newest Moon Knight episodes, skip to our gaming news talk. So yeah, I mean, I think that these 2 episodes of Moon Knight, episode 3, I should have told Damian before we started recording. I fucking forgot what episode 3 was about.
Yeah.
I fucking forget. But I do remember at the end with the whole, like, you know, him spinning the fucking stars and, like, he loses sort of, like, the Moon Knight god. So, yes. But then episode 4, like, honestly, like, halfway through it, I was like, Emma, who's, like, my girlfriend, I was like, this shit kind of boring. But and then the last part happened where like he's like in this fucking mental hospital and like other weird shit's going on. Obviously, like we don't know what the fuck's going on, but like that was like the most interesting and the most fascinating aspect of that episode. And honestly, like the show as a whole is when you're like trying to figure shit out as to like what the fuck's going on, because like I love it when the show does that, just because like that's just Moon Knight like as a character, because like he'll black out and then like suddenly he has blood on him and like a gun in his hand and like all of the dudes are knocked out, and now at the end of episode 4 is like he's in this fucking hospital or whatever situation, and like both personalities are like out of the body or whatever the fuck, whether like he died, he went to heaven, I don't fucking know. But I think that episode 4, just like that ending part really made it up for it. But like, you know, there's only 2 more episodes, so I wonder how they're gonna, you know, tie everything up. Hopefully it ties up well, but overall it's still like I am enjoying Moon Knight, but it's definitely like not living up to the, I guess, the hype and expectations that I set for myself personally.
Yeah, I think honestly, it probably would have been better as a movie just due to the budget. 'Cause I feel like for a show called Moon Knight, I think we only seen him like twice. So like we haven't really seen Moon Knight do too many actual things yet. And like you said, I think the show's biggest strength is the whole like him waking up and not knowing what's going on and being like disoriented. Like I thought that's why the first episode, the first like 2 episodes, like really good because of that. But I feel like the thing, like these 2 episodes, like I think focus too much on like the drama behind Mark and Layla, and I just kind of don't care. Like,
oh my god, bro! When she started arguing with him, like what happened to my dad? I'm like, this is not the fucking time. This is not the fucking time. There's people behind you.
I just hate the whole like liar like reveal thing where it's like, oh, like you're lying and stuff and all that, because it's kind of annoying. I'm like, just talk about it. You know, like, don't bring it up in like like do or die situations like that and stuff. I don't know. I feel like that aspect of the show is kind of grating. Like I feel like Loki like did the whole bickering thing a little better with Loki and Sylvie and stuff. Even then, some people didn't like that, but I don't know, I liked it more in that than this one. Just because it's kind of annoying. Like, I feel like the love triangle between like Steven, like Mark and Layla is like weird too. Like I don't know what's going on. And I feel like I wouldn't mind it if it wasn't feel like such a big focus right now. Like I felt like the big focus of episode 3 and 4 was like their relationship. You know, I'm like more interested in like the god stuff and like the the Moon Knight and the mystery and stuff. And I feel like these past 2 episodes haven't really been focusing on that. But even then, I feel like in episode 3, because like Khonshu like made like a solar eclipse or whatever to like summon the gods for like an audience. And even like this is I don't really like to complain about like the whole writing of shows and things because I don't want to be like the cinema sins thing or whatever. But this whole sequence is like weird because he does that. He told Steven or Mark, I forget which one he was talking to at the time, was like, okay, we gotta speak to the gods really carefully. You know, we gotta make our point across that the other dude is evil and stuff. Our guy's name, Haro, I think his name. So they go in there, and then Khonshu is in his body, and then he's just like saying nonsense, like, "Oh, he did it!" Like he's like you're not making your point. Like you literally just said, "I need to make my point clear," and then he did it. And then the other guys just believe in the other dude, like with no evidence, basically. And then there you go. Then he's like, "Hey, don't do that again, or else you'll be in trouble." Which again, he does in episode 4 when he like spins the sky, which was cool. But yeah, I felt like that part was kind of weird. It makes the gods seem like really stupid too, and maybe that's the point. Like they're not supposed to be like omniscient. Like they're supposed to be like a bit like weaker or something than like other gods in this like universe. But yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. But yeah, I think the strengths of the show is definitely like, you know, the Moon Knight stuff, all the different lore, the Steven, Mark, like waking back up and forth and stuff. Like, I think that's the strongest points. But I feel like episodes 3 and 4 didn't really like focus. Like they focus more on the drama stuff with Layla and stuff, and I just didn't care.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I kind of agree with you on that. I mean, I hope people don't clip this and we end up on Twitter and we're the fucking enemies on trending.
Like, here's the thing. Like, I don't mind. Like, I like Layla as a character. Like, I don't want to say that I don't like her. Like, I think she's good. Like, you know, I know some people have issues with like, oh, female empowerment, like doing that stuff, but I feel like she plays all the things like how like a normal person would. Like when she's fighting like the zombie thing in like episode 4, she's like out of breath and like I'm like, yeah, I would do that too. So but no, I like her as a character and stuff. It's just like the whole drama thing. Like I do think like she's in the right and Mark is definitely in the wrong with like everything they've been saying. But I just feel like there's like, I don't think they should drag it the whole like time. That's about it. Like I think it's fine to have that drama and stuff, just not like throughout those whole 2 episodes.
You know what would have been a better way to reveal it? I'm just like thinking this bullshit up in my head, but like maybe like spread it out a little more. Maybe this will fuck up the pacing of the show, but like do it in like sort of like flashback sequences where like we actually see what happens with Layla and her dad and like Mark's there for like whatever reason. Like that could be like the big reveal. It's like, oh shit, he was there, but was that Mark or was that Steven kind of thing, you know? And then like they could have that sort of like bickering thing or whatever. I don't know. I think that would have been like a much smarter way, a much bigger reveal, and would have had me probably a little bit more invested. I don't know, you know, obviously like going back in time for like these characters that we're still getting to know and still trying to understand who they are and shit like that could be a little dicey. But
yeah. I mean, honestly, I didn't mind episode 4 that much. I actually kind of liked episode. It was mostly episode 3 that was also again episode 3 was just like I think weirdly written too because they made such a big deal with the scarab being like the MacGuffin they needed to find the tomb of the other god, and then they're like, oh no, that wasn't it. Now we gotta find this thing this location, but then it turned out it's like a whole thing. I'm like, what was the point of the whole scarab thing in the first 2 episodes then? Like, it was just a fake out. So that felt a little weird. Like, I definitely feel like episode 3 was pretty weak. Episode 4 was I enjoyed episode 4. Like, I didn't mind it as much, but yeah, definitely like the last bit of episode 4 is the best part about these 2 episodes. I don't know what the hell is going on now. So, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully the next 2 episodes are able to wrap everything up nicely, I hope. I feel like these Marvel Disney shows should be like 8 episodes, but they never are. They're always 6 for some reason. And like this fucking Disney we're talking about, they have the budget to do 8 episodes if they fucking wanted to, but they always do 6 for some reason. So hopefully it'll wrap everything up, especially because they literally like sort of gave the viewer another thing to like think about, like what the hell is going on now. So hopefully it'll all make sense when we get to episode 5 or possibly episode 6. But yeah, I mean, like I'm still obviously like enjoying it. It's just, you know, a little bit dicey and sort of choppy. Like obviously like this is not like the best MCU thing that they've made in terms of the shows. Again, who knows? I might be eating my words by next episode because we'll talk about the entire series as a whole. But I don't know. I feel like the show has its good points, like its peaks when it's like, oh, like what the fuck's going on? You know, like he went back to sleep and now he woke up, and now we're at the end of episode 4 where it's like he's in this hospital situation, and now it's like in between there, like what's gonna keep me from watching other than getting to that next high point sort of thing, you know?
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, I'm definitely still enjoying the show as well, but I definitely felt like I had more expectations. This was probably the show they announced I was the most excited for, and right now it's kind of just like okay, so which is like unfortunate. I do like, you know, Steven, Mark, and Contri all being in one body. I think that's a pretty cool premise in general. And I enjoy whenever they're fighting, because I feel like that's like, you know, pretty messed up, you know, seeing yourself in someone else's body or whatever. But yeah, I just think that, you know, episode 3 just felt a bit weaker, and you know, the Tomb episode, it was pretty good, but I felt like the first 2 were probably a bit better. So it's kind of why I landed on that. And again, I think it would be cool to see more Moon Knight, because again, we only see it like I think twice. So like I like, you know, I don't need action all the time, obviously, but I think seeing him do more cool stuff would have been nice. But and I think it's because he's like totally CGI. So it probably costs more to. I don't know why. Like it looks like you could just make his suit. Like I don't know why he has to be CGI. But
some guy just standing in a fucking mocap suit.
Yeah, just some guy T-posing over there. So but yeah, I'm still enjoying it. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be on the lower end, I think, after it's done. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Like you said, maybe it could be like the best thing. But you know, I usually like the Marvel shows more than some other people, I think. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully they're able to wrap it up. But yeah, we'll talk about it next episode. Anyways, let's talk about the slew of fucking news we got here. So
we got a lot of things. It's a beefy episode.
Yes, sir. So first, let's talk about the Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary announcement trailer. So yeah, they announced some mobile games. Union X.
It's gonna be canon.
Dark Road. Missing Link. Yep. To all the Kingdom Hearts fans. Yep. There's more stuff to play on your phone. And then obviously Kingdom Hearts 4, which was the big fucking reveal that they just announced on a Sunday morning, just randomly. They were like, fuck it, whatever. Kingdom Hearts 4.
I think they were doing like a 20th anniversary event anyway, which makes me feel old. All right, so now all these, this is like a tangent, but you know, since we grew up with the PS2 and a lot of the games we used to play as kids, like Ratchet & Clank's about to be 20 in like September or something. Dude, that makes me feel old. I'm like, shit, like these games we grew up with are gonna be 20 years old. That's insane. But anyway, yeah. So with this, I think Nomura did say the next Kingdom Hearts game was sooner than you think, like the next like big one. So you know, a lot of people were meaning like, oh, this is gonna take forever and stuff, or like, oh, where's the 100 spin-offs before this game comes out? But you know, he already said the game is probably gonna be in development way sooner than Kingdom Hearts 3 was, and they already were using, I think, Unreal 4 and they're upgrading to Unreal 5, and Epic was like, oh yeah, that's a pretty easy process for games that were in development for Unreal 4 and want to move to 5. They said that's a pretty painless effort. So I think this game's gonna come out way sooner than we think. I think it's still like 2-3 years off. But I think it's gonna be sooner than later. And you know, I'm not like I only played Kingdom Hearts 1 like recently, like 2 years or no, last year I think. You know, I liked it a lot. I'm working my way through all of them because there's always a game series I want to play. And yeah, I mean, I from what they've shown, it's mostly just a cutscene, really. You know, he's in. There's no spoilers for 3. I already know everything because I watched the Subcomment reviews and like a bunch of other reviews for Kingdom Hearts. Basically, like Sora's just like in this weird world called like the Quadratum, and he's like real now, so that's why he looks like a Final Fantasy character. And from what they showing, he fights like a giant heartless. The combat. I mean, this is probably like a whole pre-render thing. It's not like actual gameplay, I don't think. But it looks cool. He's like doing all his things. Does like a Giga Joe break from like Gurren Lagann, so that's pretty cool. And I mean, it just looks like Kingdom Hearts. So
yeah, looks more like Final Fantasy now because of
it does,
the context that he's in. But yeah, I mean, it's cool that we're getting Kingdom Hearts 4 a lot sooner than we got 3. Because people were waiting. Maybe close
Years.
to a decade for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Here's the thing, because Kingdom Hearts is weird. So everyone says that from 2 to 3 was like really long.
Yeah.
But really, that's not really how the game series goes. It's more like Kingdom Hearts 2, and then it's like Birth by Sleep and all the other bullshit, like Dream Drop Distance.
Yeah.
And those are basically Kingdom Hearts 3, 4, and like Kingdom Hearts 3 is like 7 at this point. So I think if they just keep it numbered at this point, it's fine. And also, I was talking to my brother about this. It's probably harder for them to do spin-off games now that like portable consoles don't really exist. Like, yeah, they could use the Switch if they want to make a spin-off game, but it's not as easy anymore. They kind of have to commit to making like more big budget games nowadays. So
yeah, and also going from PS5 to Switch is not a good idea.
Yeah. So yeah, plus I don't think Kingdom Hearts made a good impression on Switch players when they made everything like a cloud version. So yeah, not great. But yeah, it looks cool.
It definitely does look cool. I will say that.
Hopefully, Kingdom Hearts fans are more happy because I know 3 was kind of a letdown for some people. So.
Oh yeah, I know that a lot of people were mixed on 3. I think it was because there was a lot more Disney stuff as well.
Yeah,
that
all the Disney stuff
part of it
was very filler, and like they didn't really like the real game starts at like the last like 5 hours apparently. So yeah, that's pretty unfortunate for people that were really invested in the story.
That's crazy.
But yeah, all right. So next we got Stranger Things 4. Finally, all right. So they're doing this weird because people love to do this now. Volume 1 is coming out May 27th, and Volume 2 is coming out July 1st. So yeah, the last time season 3 premiered was 3 years ago. It was in July 4th, 2019. So we can't really blame them because some people say, "Oh, why it took so long?" But a thing called COVID.
Yeah,
happened.
COVID. COVID
so
happened.
They couldn't really do much. So I really don't blame the long wait and stuff. I think it was just very unfortunate timing. Everyone's still recovering from this and stuff. So yeah, the long wait is fine because of the world circumstances and stuff. But as for the trailer itself. I think it looks really good. I'm gonna be honest. I like kind of forgot some stuff because.
Oh yeah, 100%.
When I'm like, who the hell is Billy? And then I'm like, oh, I remember. Now. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember. But for a second, I'm like, who died? Like.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I was like, okay. But yeah, they're all grown up now because it's been a while, so the kids are gonna be a little bit older, so they're in high school now. And it makes sense. I actually think it was really like convenient. They left off how they did in Stranger Things 3. Where I guess I probably shouldn't say it, but it makes sense for a time skip to happen. So I'm gonna say,
yeah.
So yeah, they got pretty lucky that we're able to just do a time skip and have like a quiet moment for these characters like for a little bit, and so it all sucks back in to like do all this like upside down stuff. So, yeah, it looks like they're putting a lot of budget into it too. Like it looks pretty cool. So.
Yeah, I mean, like 100%, they don't want to mess this up because this is
it. This is it.
This is the last thing that they're gonna do for Stranger Things, which is good. I honestly think that them ending it now is better than them trying to keep it going because I know that a lot of these actors are probably sick and tired of doing this shit now. Yeah. But I mean. This is like Netflix's like really like big flagship show for our generation anyways, I feel, for like people our age and younger, people love Stranger Things and like it's for a good reason, like, because it's just a good fucking show. Like there's lovable characters, there's a lovable story, the world is interesting, etc. The whole nostalgia thing with the 80s and 90s and shit like that. So but yeah, Stranger Things 4, I really like this first official trailer that we're getting, and the way that they're releasing it I think makes sense, especially since because between 2019 and now, the way that other streaming services have come in and done their releases, for example, with like The Boys, they were sort of like the first ones to do like the weekly episode thing, which like people did not like. They saw what happened with that. They were like, wait, so first season dropped all at once, and then the second season they dropped I think 2 episodes, and then they started doing it weekly. People were fucking pissed. So they were like, all right guys, we'll sort of do the middle where we're gonna release the first half, I believe it was May 27th, and then we're gonna release the second half July 1st. So give people a buffer to sort of get through the first half, and then when the second half comes out, drop everything and watch the second half because you do not want to get fucking spoiled.
No.
But yeah, I'm obviously excited for this. I cannot wait to see what they have planned and what they sort of thought up of for this sort of finale of this series. But yeah, you know, I'm very, very excited to see all of the kids again and sort of see what they're able to do.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, I think, you know, if they are going to end it here, yeah, I'm okay with that, because I feel like if they drag it on more, it's just going to, like, it's just, you can't really do much after this, I think. So I think fighting, like, this, like, upside down lord, you know, the real, like, I forgot what they call them, like, the Demogorgon. I think, yeah, you can't really end it better than this. So, yeah, I'm okay. You know, I love the show, too. But yeah, I'd rather the show end well than keep going for no reason. So, yeah, definitely excited to see the end of this.
Okay, so moving on from there, Thor: Love and Thunder finally got a teaser trailer. It's been a while since they've actually talked about this movie, and it's coming out kind of soon in July. So I think that this is going to be the big blockbuster superhero movie film that a lot of people are going to see, especially because people love Thor now. You know, after Ragnarok, after the 2 Avengers movies, people love him, and that's just because they've done different things with this character, and because of Taika Waititi, and you know, he's back again doing this movie, and it very much looks like, you know, he is doing his thing, and you know, the Guardians are in this movie, and it looks like he's just trying to find his place as sort of one of the last OG Avengers. So I think that that'll be a very interesting story. And also, we got to see Jane Foster, you know, her being Thor, and her probably being the next Thor after this movie ends, probably. Dude, so
what even happened to her? I forgot.
mean, I'm not exactly sure what the comic book lore, but I know that for context is that, like, Thor gives Jane Foster or like the hammer chooses Jane Foster, so that's what makes Thor, kind of thing. I believe that's what I saw in like a comic book panel thing that people were like, you know, citing their sources or whatever the fuck. Hopefully I'm right on that. But yeah, you know, I'm excited to see a big blockbuster sort of superhero movie that has one of the original sort of Avengers in it, because obviously, like, you know, we've seen other Marvel movies between now and then. From Endgame, you know, we saw Spider-Man. We're gonna see Doctor Strange.
And now,
yeah, shut up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. I didn't know you were joking because you had a straight ass face. I was like, this motherfucker. But yeah, you know, cannot wait to see what Taika Waititi and the crew have, you know, thought up of for this movie.
Yeah, I feel the same way. You know, like Thor, you know, Thor 1 was okay, you know, when I watched it. Thor 2, you know, pretty not good. Ragnarok was amazing. It's like one of my favorite, like, Marvel movies. Like, it's just so funny. I love it. It's great. And whenever Thor appears in any Avengers movies, like, I think he's great as well. I love the Guardians, like, a lot as well. So having them both together with the same director from Ragnarok, like, I think I'm just gonna love it. So I'm very excited to watch this movie. You know, I think, you know, Spider-Man was the last, it was like the last big, no, Doctor Strange is coming out, right? Doctor Strange is coming out, and then this one. So yeah, it's a good time to, you know, have these big budget Marvel movies again, because you know, it felt like a while, because we got I know Spider-Man came out, but that was a while ago. So yeah, I'm excited to see Doctor Strange and Thor and see what they really do, like, in the future, right? Because we're already setting things up for, like, I guess multiverse stuff that's been happening in, like, in the Disney Plus shows, but we haven't really seen that too much in the movies besides, like, Far From Home. So I really want to see them start moving along with this phase, because it does feel like it's kind of, you know, we gotta get somewhere, you know. So yeah, but I'm very excited for this movie. I love Thor. I love the direction they took him. I love Guardians as well. So yeah, I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, I wonder on how this movie, especially for the Guardians, how it's going to play into Guardians 3, because I'm sure what TT and James Gunn probably talked over, like, all right, so, like, what the fuck are we doing with these characters? So
I mean, I don't think the Guardians are gonna be, like, in this movie for too much. Like,
yeah, they're probably gonna be in there for, like, less than half an hour. If I had to guess.
They're probably gonna be there, like, in the beginning, like helping. Like, he's, like, probably just traveling with them, and then, like, they drop him somewhere. Because you don't really see them too much in the trailer anyway, so I don't think they're gonna be that much in the movie. But it's still cool to see them interact, because I really like Star-Lord interacting with Thor. I always think that's funny. So yeah, it's good shit. I'm very much looking forward to it. Alrighty, so.
Boy.
This is big news. So Xenoblade 3, they got a release date trailer, and it's getting pushed up to July 29th. So it was supposed to come out September. We didn't really know. It just said September. But now it's July. which is sick. So I was like pretty concerned when I saw this trailer because I'm like, uh-oh, it's gonna get delayed, isn't it? But when it got pushed up, I'm like into summer. I'm like, hell yeah. So September was gonna be a pretty tight month because school starts back up again and stuff, and it's gonna be busy, and I won't have. I'm still gonna play it, but I won't have as much time to dedicate to like 100-hour long RPG. Now I can just play the shit out of it without any worries. So yeah, and this trailer was crazy. I don't know what's going on in the story. Is that weird shit happening? I don't know. But the main thing is the combat. The combat is crazy in this game. So usually in Xenoblade, you only got like 3 or 4 party members out at once. This one is like 7 characters at once, which is insane. And you can like fuse certain characters together, and it looks like it's like specific pairs of characters from what it looks like. So they could turn into like these persona things, and like you just have like big Ultra Boy. Yeah, it looks very interesting. I don't know, like the combat system is gonna be really different. And Xenoblade usually does that. It usually have the base system of like you have your characters in like more of an MMO setting where you have tanks, healers, and DPS. But Xenoblade 1 to 2 was very different combat way. Same thing with X. So it's gonna be interesting to learn this combat system, and hopefully there's a better tutorial because Xenoblade 2 had a pretty shitty tutorial where it basically didn't teach you anything, and a lot of people just didn't get the combat and just called it bad because they just didn't know. Which I don't blame them. Like I think the combat is great once you actually understand it. So hopefully Monolith adds like more extensive tutorials. But yeah, from what I'm seeing here, it looks really good. I am very, very excited for this game. And the fact that it's getting pushed up so I could play it even more makes me very excited.
It looks cool. That's all I can say.
Like I love my JRPGs. They're fantastic. I love Xenoblade, a big simp.
Of course. I mean,
Xenoblade and Persona. Oh man.
I feel like this is happening more often with like certain games getting like pushed up for like whatever reason. They're just like, fuck it, whatever. Like we'll just drop it sooner. So it's cool that Monolith and Nintendo sort of got the okay to like push it up sooner. Because I know that obviously like they don't want certain games overlapping with each other. Yeah. So
because they showed, we'll talk about it later, but it showed Splatoon is coming out. Like and they probably didn't want those two to compete. So yeah. It's also probably because Breath of the Wild got delayed, so they were like, okay, we can move things around now. So, but yeah.
All right, so next we got some Ninja Turtles news. So first up, Shredder's Revenge, which is the brand new classic beat 'em up retro style game. It got a new gameplay sort of video, which is like 11 minutes long. And then on top of that, in that video, you can hear the original 80s voice actors in there, sort of doing like, I guess, like quick little sayings and grunts and shit like that. So that's kind of cool. I think that people that grew up with that version of the Turtles will fucking love this game now, just because those quick little bits in there is nice little icing on the cake. And on top of that, must I remind you guys, this shit's gonna be online, so like that's gonna be dope. I'm definitely gonna get it on PC just because we're probably gonna play it online together with our friends. So I cannot wait for this game, and it's going to be released around this summer. So yeah, the summer's going to be pretty cool for games.
Yeah, summer's going to be crazy. But yeah, I think the game looks great still. They keep showing a bunch of gameplay, which is great. I like when companies just show like here's just pure gameplay, and then you can just like see how it is. And it looks perfect, right? Like, this is just like what we wanted. I love beat 'em ups. I love Turtles in Time. So yeah, this looks like everything any fan would want. And one of the characters and some VAs coming back and online. It looks like it's gonna be like the best like Turtles game probably. So I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, at this point, from everything we've seen, it's kind of hard to mess this up now. The only way they can mess it up is if the online's like actually trash, which I hope is not the case. Yeah, it could happen. This is a indie company we're talking about, and I'm sure they're probably underestimating how many people are gonna play this game. So let's see how well those servers do on release day. Hopefully nothing crashes. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. But anyways, the Cowabunga collection gets a $150 collector's edition, and damn well I fucking bought this shit. Not off the bat. I debated with myself for like half an hour if I was gonna buy this, and then I looked at the stuff again and I was like, you know what, that art book's kind of worth it. So I bought it. Anyways, so the game retails for $40, I believe.
Oh, okay.
And you could get it physically or digitally. So yeah, but this sort of like limited collector's edition, it's like kind of selling out everywhere. So I'm glad I got my pre-order in when I did. But yeah, let me just double check. Yeah, you could still pre-order it for like the Xbox One and like the PS4 version, but the Switch and PS5 gone.
But what did you get it for?
I got it for PS5 through Target. just because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get that.
Yeah, no, I think it looks sick. Like usually I have like no room to put things. But it looks really cool. I'm not a big collector with like these collector editions anymore. But yeah, the art book looks really neat. All this like other crap in here, like the little like acrylic stand thing, like that. All that looks really cool. They put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah, I mean, I was honestly surprised that it was gonna be $150, and then I looked at it again and I was like, all right, that might be reasonable. But yeah, the base game is $40, and you can get it physically or digitally, I believe. So, and it has a bunch of Ninja Turtles games on there. Like, I forget how many, 13 games, God games, damn. Guys. Like, that is a lot. They're probably not doing a lot to the games themselves. They're literally probably just pointing them on there and just, adding extra bells and whistles or whatever. But this is going to be a pretty dope collection, especially if you never played the Turtles games before. You should definitely check this one out. We don't know when this is going to come out yet. I believe it's still like scheduled for like the end of this year, so we don't know when this is going to release, but hopefully it'll release around the same time or maybe even after the other Ninja Turtles game, Shredder's Revenge. But we're just gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, they probably do. I mean, like, companies like to cluster their releases, so there's like more hype on it. So that's why we see so much Sonic stuff right now. But yeah, so yeah, we have some really sad news here. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1 has been delayed to June 2nd, 2023. It was supposed to come out October of 2022. And Part 2 of it has been delayed to March 29th of 2024. Yeah, I saw this, I'm like, no. But if they make it better, like, or they need the time, that's fine. But still pretty sad because I actually saw the trailer for it again on when I watched Sonic, and I'm like, yo, can't wait for that. It's gonna be a sick year for movies. And then then it got delayed. So I like Spider-Verse is probably my favorite Spider-Man movie, and like probably one of my favorite animated movies ever as well. Like, it's like a lot of things. It's really good. So kind of sad I got delayed, but I didn't need the time, so I won't really like say much about it. But it is unfortunate because I love Spider-Verse 1 so much. So, but they need time to make a better movie. That's all right by me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like you said, I pretty much agree with what you said. This is the best Spider-Man movie in my opinion. This is one of my favorite animated movies by far. It just looks so stylish, and the way that they were able to bring in Miles Morales and bring a larger story of Spider-Man while also doing the Spider-Verse thing was fucking great. So them doing Across the Spider-Verse now with probably other Spider-Man and 2099 Spider-Man being a very key figure in there, that's going to be great. Them delaying it is what it is. I mean, like I told Damian, you can't rush perfection. You can't fucking rush perfection. So, I am willing to wait for however long they need to make this movie. We're going to have to wait another year. That's fine. It got delayed from October to June. So that was an extra... Was that like 8 months they gave themselves or something like that? Or was October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June? Yeah, 8 months. 8 months. Counting with my fingers as a child. But yeah, take your fucking time, because I want this movie to be just as good, if not better, than the original, which is like expectations are super duper high for this movie. So hopefully they're able to meet that. And if they don't and it's just as good, that's fine by me too.
Yeah, I feel the same. I mean, I want it to be better, but because I love the first one, and if it could be better, but yeah, if it's just the same, then yeah, I'll be okay with that. I think there's still a lot of Spider-Man they could look at and stuff, and obviously we see the 2099 is there, so yeah, I mean, the only thing that concerns me about the movie is the two-parter of it, but hopefully they don't end in a horrible like cliffhanger, which is like, well, what the hell? So, but if they have a story to tell that needs 2 parts, then yeah, I'm totally down. So.
Could be another Infinity War event, but who knows?
God damn it.
Moving on, we got Sega is working on big reboots. For Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio. So this is coming from a Bloomberg article, and they are in very early development. These can be canceled still, so there's nothing really too concrete on these yet. But yeah, I mean, like Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio, I think that those are 2 great Sega IPs that they can bring back that I think a lot of people would like and love today. I mean, if you remember Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, which still we don't know when the fuck that's going to come out, but that's from Team Reptile, who did what's it called? Yeah, Lethal League. So, and when people saw this game on Twitter, they were fucking blowing their minds. They're like, oh my God, it's just like Jet Set Radio. So, if they're able to do that, but just like with the original Jet Set Radio stuff, like, and make it even better, or whatever the case is. I think that can be dope. Crazy Taxi, like, that's just like a fun arcade game. I remember when I played it on the PS2, because I randomly bought it at like Plane Trade or whatever. I just bought it and I was like, let me try out Crazy Taxi, and it was fun. I honestly really liked it. Obviously, it does take some getting used to because it is a arcade game with archaic controls, but I think them rebooting these two in a faithful, tasteful way, I think can be really, really good. Because obviously, like, we've seen video game reboots time and time again, and they have done some good and some really bad. So hopefully that, Sega is mindful of what they're doing. Because really, like, Sega has been like the Sonic pumping machine for like years and years and years. Everything else has been on the back burner. So.
Yeah, like basically the only thing Sega has done has been like Sonic and now Yakuza. They've been doing a lot of Yakuza games. But we're starting to see them revive some things like the Monkey Ball like remasters and stuff, which is great. Banana Mania and then the Banana Blitz HD. So hopefully now they actually are looking at their big catalog of like IPs they just never use, and people have fond memories of them. It just seems like really easy to take those IPs and just make a new game with them. Jet Set Radio is a big one, obviously. I think Crazy Taxi could be a fun little like thing they could do. I don't know how. I mean, they said they want to do a big budget. Like, I don't know how you do a big budget Crazy Taxi game, but I don't know. Maybe they can. Jet Set Radio, I could definitely see it being like a more open world-y type thing with like skating controls and all that. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to like a new Jet Set Radio game if they do make one, because that could be really cool. But yeah, hopefully Sega just keeps using these IPs because they have a lot of cool things. They just never use them. So yeah, hopefully we see more of this. Like, I want a new Monkey Ball as well. Like the remasters were great, but yeah, I would like a new Monkey Ball as well because Monkey Ball is sick. So yeah, definitely would like to see more of this.
Yeah.
That's how I was looking at it.
It's all good. It's all good, bro.
So anyway, PlayStation and Nintendo have updated their online subscription guidelines. So auto renewal practices. So PlayStation Plus subscribers, which includes contracting long-term customers that haven't used the service for a while, to remind them how to cancel the subscriptions. If users don't cancel the service that aren't actively using it, Sony will stop taking payments. So that's really cool because there's like a lot of things where sometimes you forget you have it and then it just takes money from you. And yeah, it's really nice that they would do that. And Nintendo will no longer be sold with automatic renewal set as a default option. So if you want to turn it off, you have to like do it after signing up, which I think is also kind of smart. But they probably could have just had a checkbox being like, "Hey, you want to auto renew it when you're buying it?"
Yeah,
I don't even know why you have to do it afterward, but
because it was automatically checked off as default or whatever, which is a bit sussy, if I do say so myself, but I have an experience with this with Xbox Live when I accidentally renewed on my mom's credit card.
Nice.
So I was like, shit, I'm not really playing Xbox anymore, but it got charged $60 on her card, and I'm like, oh, fuck, so I think that practices like this should be sort of looked at and sort of regulated, just because I think we've all at one point or another forgotten to cancel a subscription that went on our debit card or credit card or whatever the case is, and we just lost that money. Fuck it, whatever. It is what it is. So I'm glad that PlayStation Plus long-term subscribers, especially those that have been subscribed to the service for a while and maybe you haven't noticed that oh shit, I'm still getting charged for this, or people that aren't actively using it, Sony will literally just stop taking payments from them. So that's nice to see. And Nintendo automatically checking it off as automatic renewal, a bit sus, but now that is not the case. So glad to see that this is something that is sort of resolved in a sense.
Yeah, like I think it's gonna be good for like younger kids too, especially for Nintendo, because their mom, the kid's probably like, oh, I want to play Smash Brothers online, like I need $20, and then a year passes, why am I why is it charging me more? So probably be good for that. But yeah, it's always good to see that more pro consumer type stuff happening.
Yeah. Moving on, we got a new Star Wars game is in development at Skydance New Media, and Amy Hennig is back at it, sort of, I guess, directing, being in charge of this. So this was big news for people, which I had no idea why. I had no idea who the fuck Amy Hennig was. But, I did some research, and she was originally at Visceral Games, who are the original developers of Dead Space, I believe.
Yeah.
So she was working on a Star Wars game then, and then it got canceled. And her previous works include being the Jak 3 director, which is my favorite Jak and Daxter game. And then she was also the creative director and writer for the Uncharted trilogy. So that is a pretty good resume, if I do say so myself. If I wanted anyone to be in charge of a brand new Star Wars game that was narrative-driven, action-adventure sort of thing, fuck it, yeah, give it to her because she obviously has the resume to do it. The Uncharted series is so successful, probably because of her, probably because of her vision of sort of Nathan Drake and sort of who he is as a character and shit like that. So, you know, whatever they decide to do for the Star Wars project, I'm sure it'll be great. They already have another game that did a action adventure game, which is, what's it called? Fuck, Damian, help me out here.
Wait, which one?
Star Wars.
Oh, Star Wars, like Fallen Order.
Fallen Order, yes.
Yeah.
Fallen Order, I just remembered it, yes. So, you know, they already have that game to sort of go off of in terms of like an action adventure game. But maybe they want to make this one more narrative driven. Who knows? I think that would be super duper cool. I think Fallen Order really heavily relies on the aftermath of Order 66, which is why it's so good. I think everyone loves Order 66. If you like Star Wars, you fucking love all of that shit that happens. No matter how tragic that shit is, it's great to see what happens for other characters within the universe within that context. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what she has in store and what her vision is for a Star Wars game, which we'll probably see within the next few years and sort of like what her idea for this game is. So,
yeah, I think like a more Uncharted-y type Star Wars game could work really well. You know, you don't have to be a Jedi because I think Fallen Order already has that checked off, and you know, Fallen Order is not. I guess it's a little more narrative, but not. It's more like Dark Souls-y in the way it like does things with like, you know, has a lot of mechanics from Dark Souls and some Metroidvania type stuff in it. So I think having a Star Wars game that's a lot more, I guess, linear in that Naughty Dog style could be pretty cool. Like I think a lot of people would like jive with that. I mean, I really liked Guardians of the Galaxy, like that game, because it's basically that as well. It's like more narrative driven. Like, you know, you kind of just go through hallways and you do your stuff, but it's fun. You know, like you got a good story, you have some good gameplay and a good, you know, all that stuff. So if they could have a Star Wars game like that, that'd be pretty neat. And it'd be cool if you play as like a trooper or like as like a bounty hunter or something. Like maybe like not a Jedi, because again, I think they have that covered already with some games.
Yeah,
I think that'd be really cool.
Definitely.
All right, so we got some Nintendo stuff. Nintendo's been hit with labor complaints. So this like broke out right when Xenoblade 3 actually got the release date trailer. So people say coincidence? I don't think so. But anyway, so the complaint basically here is that an unnamed worker is alleging Nintendo that they violated their protective right to unionize, which a lot of companies do. Because, you know, I always say, like, if you could be a part of a union, you should do it. Because I'm a part of a union, and let me just tell you, they help you a lot. like a lot. So, it's definitely something you want to be a part of if you're a worker. Like, you know, like, yeah, it's like they take some of your money, but it's not like the benefits they give you is like a lot. So, but yeah, so obviously a lot of companies don't want this. A lot of the tech companies really don't want this. But then there's also some other things here that's saying Nintendo only fired for leaking like information, like confidential information, and they weren't aware of the union, like, you know, the unionizing attempt or anything like that. Again, don't know how true that is. Like, I don't really.
Yeah, obviously.
Like, you know, it could just be a disgruntled worker saying that because they leaked some information. I mean, we had some of that in the past with some Nintendo people like leak some things, but it really wouldn't surprise me if Nintendo did squash any union attempts because, you know, companies don't want unions. That's just the sad truth. They don't want a union. It doesn't help them at all. It only helps the workers, and, you know, they would have to, like, you know, bend to the union's whim, which they should. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, this is not for people directly hired by Nintendo, but these are contractors.
Yeah,
but
contractors,
even then, you know, they should still unionize and still, you know, make sure that they are protected within the workplace. But, you know, at this point, it's a he said, she said situation because, like, Nintendo didn't have to respond to this sort of claim, but they were just like, we only fired someone because they may or may not have leaked some information regarding Game Boy, Nintendo Online stuff.
Right, it was that. Yeah.
So apparently that might be it because like those two things sort of came out like simultaneously.
Right.
So who knows what this is? I'll keep an eye on this story to see if it advances, but. Yeah, I'm not going to say Nintendo is the good guy in this situation just because they've really done a good job of steering clear of controversy like this. You know, I remember when Animal Crossing New Horizons was coming out, they were like, yeah, we're just like taking our time with the game. You know, we're not trying to crunch and shit like that, which was, you know, very much applauded by people within the gaming community, including myself. But, you know, this sort of labor unionizing thing, I can see them doing it just because, like you said, companies don't want this shit. But I'll keep an eye on this story as of right now. But I'm very much leaning towards he probably just leaked some shit. He probably took a screenshot and was like, "Hey guys, check this shit out," and then he got fired. So.
Whoops. Yeah, that now that you said that and it happened, yeah, that's probably what happened. But again, if Nintendo, that wouldn't surprise me. Nintendo did try to squash union attempts.
Yeah.
It's kind of standard, unfortunately. So.
All right, so moving on from there, we got is the brand new PlayStation Plus rebrand is coming this May/June. So depending on where you are within the world, it'll come either in May or most likely June. So like the Asian markets, excluding Japan, will be May 23rd.
That's weird.
Then, yeah, I don't know why they're sort of rolling it out like this. It's kind of strange. I guess they're sort of play testing it within the Asian countries first, and then into America, and then Europe, and then Japan. June 1st, America is June 13th, and then Europe June 22nd. So we still don't know what the fucking games are. Hello, guys? So hopefully whatever ones we see within the Asian markets are similar to what we see in America, if not the exact same, because I feel like deferring sort of region locking of this kind of service is a bit weird and a bit strange, and region locking in 2022 is kind of lame. I feel like most gaming companies just ditch it all together, like fuck it, whatever, like just buy the games, please, like just play the games, so yeah, hopefully we will see more details on the service soon and not just like when it's going to be rolled out. But yeah, I guess within the United States it'll come out on June 13th, which is kind of good. I think that is like a good window because that's when most people are going to be out of school and most people are going to have like the free time to try it out and play it. So yeah.
I just wanted the list of games. Like we said last podcast, like I just want the list of games. I want to see what's happening. Like all those complaints still apply right now. And it looks like we're not going to get that information until it's like out. So just be cautious when I try to upgrade for this. I would wait for like Digital Foundry to do stuff. I'll wait for like Reddit and Twitter to like blow up if it's bad or not. So yeah, I'll personally like hold off on it until I hear it's good and see what the games are, because I kind of care. If it's like Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter, Sly, if all those are games in there, I'll probably just get it. But they have to run well. Then we'll see. So yeah, it's all, again, like I said last time, it's like a whole lot of factors that we have to take into account. But yeah, we just gotta wait.
And also, this could be a good way for PlayStation to gauge what IPs people are still interested in, because like, hey, yo, everyone's playing X PlayStation IP from the PS2 days. Maybe we should make a new game on that or remake it or whatever the case is, Hey, yo, everyone's playing Sly Cooper again. Maybe we should make another Sly Cooper game. I don't know. Maybe make that shit official. Please stop playing with my heart. But yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Hopefully we will get more details on what's actually going to be available, because I remember when the PS1 Classic was announced, that little novelty sort of mini console, and then the games were shown and it was like, this is dog shit. So then no one bought it. So hopefully it's not the same thing for this big online service that they're planning for PlayStation Plus.
All right, so last piece of news here, we got Splatoon 3 just had a release date as well. It's coming out September 9th. So, like I said before with the Xenoblade thing, they probably shifted development times or like shifted release dates and stuff. And this trailer just shows like kind of like a bunch of new specials. You have like the crab tank thing, which I think they showed before. You have like a grappling hook, which I also think they showed before. You have like this weird rainmaker like thing where you could like charge it up and then shoot it out. Like some other, like you have like a bunch of like little drones that like shoot out and stuff. So yeah, some pretty crazy specials and stuff. If they used other guns, if they used like guns that weren't in the games, then I wouldn't know, because I'm not like I'm not like the biggest Splatoon nerd. I love Splatoon, man, but I won't know like guns off the top of my head. So yeah. So if you notice like different kits or whatever, then yeah, that's like for like Game Explain or something. But but yeah, it looks good. I mean, they changed the UI a bit, because the UI in Splatoon 1 and 2 I think were basically the same. So this one they flared it up a bit. But yeah, it still just looks like Splatoon. I mean, I'm gonna buy it because I like Splatoon a lot. But yeah, I'm still kind of waiting for like a big feature to like convince me this couldn't just be like DLC. Because Splatoon 2, 1 is not on Wii U, but it also added like Salmon Run, which was a big mode. I loved Salmon Run, so I was kind of waiting for another big mode in Splatoon 3, because Salmon Run's coming back, which is great because I love Salmon Run. But I was kind of waiting for maybe something else they had, like, I don't know. But right now they're not showing anything, and I doubt at this point they're going to show like any new feature besides like the campaign, the PvP, and the Salmon Run mode. So yeah, I'm still gonna buy it, but it's definitely not as exciting as like Splatoon 2 was.
Yeah, definitely. I think that because Splatoon 2 is now on the Switch and now they introduced the Horde mode with Salmon Run, there was obviously a lot more intention there to make this a sequel. But now, Splatoon 3, I mean, it's been years since Splatoon 2 came out, so maybe that's why.
5 years ago, so.
Yeah, so, them doing like a big update with all of this effort and all of this money was probably not as worth it as just, making it a brand new game and, them adding all of these new features and probably new maps and everything like that. I'm excited to get back into Splatoon again, just because like I played so much Splatoon 2 when it first came out, like a unhealthy amount of Splatoon 2.
It's really fun. I love Splatoon.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot of fun. But when I try to get back into it, like in the past year, it's just like these fucking kids are cracked, man. Like what the fuck is going on? I don't know what's going on anymore. I don't know what the meta is. I don't know what the good guns are and shit like that. I forget how the maps are structured and everything like that. So hopefully they add some like new modes or some new things. I'm sure like the story's going to be insane again.
Yeah.
It's probably going to, expand more onto what, the lore of Splatoon has already been setting up. So
yeah, the lore in Splatoon is like kind of crazy. Plus like Octo Expansion was fantastic in terms of like, I guess like plot. And in terms of like most like the gameplay was great because the game was like hard. Octo Expansion was really rough. So I kind of hope they kind of have a good mix of like all the campaigns in this one. Like there's a good amount of single player content and like it's pretty hard because I really enjoyed the Octo Expansion. So yeah,
I mean it looks more of like Splatoon, so I'm probably still gonna buy it. I don't know what that whole like thing with them going back to like bases, that was kind of interesting.
That was weird. You're supposed to like jump as a squid. Like you could do like it's kind of like a dodge roll. It looked like I know you could always jump as a squid, but you could do like a side step now. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, okay. So
it's not just like the dualies. Like only the dualies are able to like dodge roll.
Yeah,
it looks like everyone can now. I don't really know what's going on there. So
yeah, I'm sure that they're gonna have like a Splatoon Direct as the game gets closer to release. So we'll learn more by then. But yeah, I'm still excited for this game. Hopefully that there's more big changes, more than there already is. And we get to see more of that soon. But yeah, it is coming out September 9th. So that's pretty cool. 9/9/22.
Whoa.
Not bad. All right, so last bit of the show, we're going to talk about everything that's been going on with Activision Blizzard once again, as the place is still on fire. So apparently, this Bloomberg article is claiming that the California governor is interfering with the Activision Blizzard lawsuit. So I can't read the Bloomberg article, but I was reading other articles, and I was reading this PBS one. So apparently, he's just like interfering with like the sort of like legal matters of like what's going on with it, which is like obviously suspicious and fucking insane. But then again, politicians and power, interfering with things they want to do. I'm not that surprised, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's kind of like weird because I'm like, does Activision have that much power in terms of like where the governor wants to like not have them be busted? Like that's pretty crazy. And not something I expected. Mostly because California is like a blue state as well. I mean, I'm not going to get too much into politics or whatever, but it does seem like kind of weird. I mean, like everyone's on their own agenda for their own power and stuff. So maybe like Activision is just giving them a bunch of money or something. I have no idea. So it just shocks me that like Activision is this important to protect, where you have to interfere with like the law here. Like it's really weird. And not something I expected. Like the whole Activision Blizzard thing just keeps getting like weirder and weirder as like time goes on. So hopefully all this stops when Microsoft like buys them, like when it officially goes through. Because right now it's been like weird.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess like Activision Blizzard just brings in that much money for California. I don't fucking know, or like maybe they donate a lot to his campaign or vice versa. I don't fucking know. It just seems insane that like that headline in and of itself is even a thing. The California governor has been interfering with the state lawsuit against Activision Blizzard. Like, kind of crazy. But, obviously it's not, I would say, official. Like, obviously, like, there's, like, evidence to back it up within the article itself and shit like that. But, it's not, like, common knowledge, if you will.
Right. So, I guess also here, speaking of Microsoft, Bobby Kotick and Microsoft have not discussed his future at Activision Blizzard yet. Again, it wouldn't surprise me because I'm like Phil Spencer basically said he hates this guy. So like, Rightfully so, because Barry Kotick is, a piece of shit. So yeah, I think he's definitely out. Like, he basically cashed out at this point. Like, Barry Kotick doesn't really have to do anything else in his life, as I said. Like, he's fine. He could, like, jump out the burning building of Activision with a golden parachute. Like, he's like, totally fine. Unfortunately, obviously, like, I wish he was in jail or, like, got fined way more or whatever, but it looks like he's just gonna get out scot-free with this. And, like we talked about before with the Activision Blizzard stuff, it kind of sucks that this is just how it is. Like, I don't know if we're really gonna see anyone really go to jail or really pay for what they did due to the acquisition, but I also feel like the place would have not gone better if Microsoft hasn't bought them out, because you needed like a whole restructure of the company for this place to be better. And the people at the top of Activision are these horrible people. Obviously, the restructure of anything they do is going to be just as bad. So having a third party or Microsoft being, they own them now, they probably like really just brood out all the garbage in there. So, I mean, that's what I'm hoping.
That's what we're all hoping.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is kind of crazy that, there haven't been official discussions yet, but I'm sure that it's just because, Microsoft already knows what they're going to do, and they already have Activision Blizzard in their pocket technically. Like, they're going to officially acquire them within the next year. So, no official talks with them. That's not something that I'm too concerned about, but it is a little strange in the sense. But then again, like you said, I'm sure Phil Spencer's going to be like, yep, just get him out, get some other, higher ups out, just like get some Microsoft people in there, and hopefully this will be better. And because like this fucking company has been a burning building ever since the first articles have come out about the whole frat boy mentality and sort of like the workspace and shit like that. And it's the Call of Duty company, guys. I'm sure no one's that surprised about it, but jokes aside, it is what it is. Bobby Kotick's probably not gonna have a future within Activision Blizzard or within gaming in general, and I would be very surprised if he stays within the industry after or whatever happens with his fate at Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, it's just been like just a wild ride the whole time. And the Activision Blizzard has been fending off like the shareholders and stuff over the class action lawsuits over the sexual harassment. So I mean, it kind of just goes into what I was saying like before.
I mean, like so like they apparently the shareholders are like, you guys were like underplaying the sort of what's it called, the claims about it, and then like obviously they read all of the articles and they see what the fuck's going on in like the press, and like hey yo, like you guys like underplayed it. But I guess the judge was like that wasn't a thing. Like they're sort of saying that they didn't minimize the impact of the allegations, and they sort of told the shareholders what exactly was supposed to be told to them. Which is kind of strange. Obviously, like, I can't really say for myself because I'm not a fucking shareholder. What do you think I am? You think I got money? I ain't putting money in Activision Blizzard just to have it burn. The hell?
Hey, dude, it's low. Bye.
But, yeah, I mean, I guess that the judge, Pierce Anderson, just found that the investigators failed to point to specific false statements that the company made, and that there wasn't a duty to disclose investigations by 3 separate government agencies, according to the Hollywood Reporter. So, yeah, it is what it is. I guess Activision Blizzard gets 1 W in the books.
Yeah, it's just like
single.
It's just annoying how they always like. It seems like they get away with like a lot. Like even with so much damning evidence, like I feel like it's not enough for it. But I'm just hoping the Microsoft acquisition is enough to like at least make Blizzard into a better company, because I love Blizzard, I love their games, but it can be kind of hard like recently with all like the stuff that's been happening. So yeah, but I think that's about it. I don't think I have anything else I really have to say about this situation. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's everything.
All right, so is there anything else you'd like to add, good sir?
No.
All right, so thank you guys for listening to the Travis and Damian podcast once again. We'll see you guys 2 weeks from now with another episode.
See ya.